So as you saw from the title of this video, I actually submitted my anthropology thesis that I have been working on for the last 2 years. And honestly, I can't believe it. Hello everyone, if you don't know me already, hi, my name is Alivia Brown and I am currently a 4th year undergraduate student at UCLA studying anthropology, and I'm actually getting ready to graduate from UCLA in about 3 weeks from now. And basically what that means is that my anthropology thesis is now done, kaput, finished, and I'm here to talk to you guys about it. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you very briefly about the basics of the program that I was in that actually allowed me to spend 2 years working on an undergraduate anthropology thesis. Then I want to transition into some tips that actually might help anyone who is writing a thesis, because it's hard and I don't want to minimize that at all. And then finally, I want to just reflect a little bit on my experience working on an anthropology thesis. There's a lot that I learned about the writing process, and then also a lot that I learned about myself. So if you're interested in that more personal side, definitely do stick around until the end when I get into that a little bit. But for now, how did I actually get the opportunity to write an undergraduate thesis? Now at UCLA, there is this amazing program called the Lemelson Anthropological Honors Program. And in this program, several students are selected to do 2-year-long fully funded anthropological research. And no joke, when I found out that I got into this program, I cried. I was just so excited to get the opportunity to really see if anthropology research was something I wanted to do. And my project, I'm not going to get into the specifics because I do have more content on this coming out pretty soon. But basically, as a little preview, it had to do with women's reproductive health and the intersection of that and biological anthropology. So yeah, that was my research project. I had 2 amazing years to work on this research and collect the data for this research and also write up a thesis. And yeah, it was just awesome. So now on to my tips. I have come to find that in anthropology research, there is so much information that gets collected. And so when it comes to writing a thesis, it's actually way harder than you might think. It's not just like a 20 to 30, for some kids in my cohort, 40-page thesis. It's not just like this thing that you know exactly what to say. It's all on you to figure out what the bigger picture is. And so all this information can get really lost and jumbled up. So you'll notice that a lot of these tips are very like organizational, but I really think that they will help. Now, the first and probably one of the biggest things that actually helped me write my anthropology thesis was this Google Chrome extension called Zotero. This is not sponsored, by the way. I just praise Zotero with every fiber of my being. And basically, it's this extension that allows you to save your sources in a really easy way. So you like download it onto your computer, and then there's this automatic little link, like little button that comes up in the top corner of your computer. And anytime you're on like a new website or journal article, you click it and it just automatically saves into Zotero. And then the best part of this whole thing, no, it's not just that it saves all the things that you've seen. No. You can actually drag and drop from this little magic device thing, drag and drop the article, journal article website into your Google Doc, for example, and it automatically generates a bibliography. This is what you've been missing for your whole academic experience. It's so nice. You don't have to wait for all those ads on EasyBib or whatever. No, none of that. It just automatically does it. And you can change the citation style. There's different organizational things that you can do within the app. I really could keep talking about this for so long, so I'm going to keep going, but just if you take anything away from this video, please let it be to download Zotero, because it's amazing. Now, the next thing that I'm going to be talking about is actually a literature review spreadsheet. Now, like I just said, when you're doing anthropological research, there is an extreme attention to contextualizing your own work within the currently available academic literature. So if you don't actually know what's out there, your paper is not going to be helpful because A, it might have already been done, or you don't understand like the standardized methods, or honestly so many other reasons. So I have found that if you can create a spreadsheet that basically helps you organize your research a little bit better, then you will be in good hands. But some things that you might want to include in that are the title, some keywords, the main argument, some main findings within those papers, and then following the actual creation of the spreadsheet where you include everything. It could also be valuable to then group everything as they're related to each other, if that makes sense. So like you're going to be writing paragraphs on different things. So like in my project, I clumped some together that were about primates, and then I clumped more together that were about women's reproductive systems and that kind of thing. It just really helped me visualize everything. Another thing that's great about this too is if you have to do in-text citations, it's really easy to just pop over to this spreadsheet, find like the author and the author and the year it was published, depending on the in-text citations, and just put those in there. So yeah, that's that tip. Now, this third tip is going to sound really obvious, but again, it's within the context of anthropology that I think it's so important. And this is outlining your paper. I know, I'm sorry. Please, I just don't get mad at me for saying that. But it's really, really important, and I'm going to tell you why. So within my research, like I said, it's in biological anthropology. There's a lot of theoretical frameworks that the audience then has to understand before even getting close to understanding my research and my argument. And so if you don't have a general outline for how you're gonna like create this path of understanding, then the thesis just will not turn out very well. I hate to say it. It's just the way that I described my paper was, and it was honestly one of the hardest things that I had to sort through, was this funnel. And oh no, my battery is going to die. I just had to readjust, so hopefully I look kind of the same. But as I was saying before, the way that I described my paper was this funnel. And so my outline really helped me decide which things I needed to explain first, so my audience would then understand my thesis and research later. Basically, my point is you're going to be working with potentially a lot of interviews, potentially a lot of surveys, potentially a lot of sources from online. And if you don't really outline where each of these things are going to go, it's entirely possible that you'll be repeating yourself and the main point or argument won't shine through maybe as much as if you had planned the pathway to getting there. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Now, my final suggestion for you guys is peer reviews, but with a twist. What do I mean by this? Obviously, peer reviews are really great, they're really important, and it makes any paper better. But my suggestion about peer reviews is not just peer reviews. It's peer reviewing from someone who does not know anything about your topic. This could be a parent, a friend, a roommate, whatever. And I think that this is really, really important because within courses, we have this tendency to write papers for the person who's grading them. This could be your TA, your professor, etc. And if you're writing it for the person who's grading it, there's an entirely high likelihood that that person also has a lot of background knowledge on your topic. But when you're writing a thesis on your own research, you're not supposed to write it for them. You should be writing it for you and also for an audience that just doesn't know a lot about your topic, because you want people to learn, right? And so for me, working with different evolutionary theories and a lot of data, I thought it was really helpful to have someone look at my paper who knew nothing about it, so then I could see if like the common average person would actually understand those messages that I was trying to get across. So yes, peer reviews, but with a twist. Now lastly, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about what I learned from this process. This is a little bit more casual, just because I think that not everyone gets the opportunity to write a thesis, and I just think it would be nice to document my experience doing that. So the first thing that I learned is that there's parts about the research process that I really do enjoy, but there's other parts that I really don't enjoy. And I think that's important because moving forward, I can look for the things that I enjoy and that I don't enjoy. If I hadn't worked on this thesis, I would have no idea that I have a preference for literature review and am less interested in like writing methods and getting ethical approval, which is very important. I just happen to not enjoy actually writing that, if that makes sense. The next thing I learned is that I definitely do well and prefer research that has more to do with making a direct impact on communities versus indirect impacts on communities. So throughout my research, I felt like I was making a very indirect impact, where I think moving forward, if I was doing research, I'd want it to be more in like applied anthropology, or have a method or a means or a way to actually get my research to the people that have the power to make the change, if that makes sense. So right now I just have this like thesis that I wrote, but no one's really doing anything with it. I'd rather there was something being done that actually helped the like women who I care, like, I don't think I'm making any sense. Basically, I want my research to help people, and if it's just learning about people, then it's less fun for me. I also learned that a thesis is not something that you can do overnight. It's something that takes time, and I found that the best work comes from sitting myself down and doing it over a long period of time. I think the hardest part about writing a thesis isn't actually writing a thesis, it's sitting yourself down to write the thesis. And when I was able to do that with a lot more time, I felt like the work that I produced was better. Now, my fourth and final thing that I learned, which if you stuck around this far, thank you so much. This is definitely the thing that's the most important. So you're the real one. You're getting all the juicy info. And that is that I think the best work stems from true passion, not professors, not deadlines, not pressure from peers, whatever. Like, if you are so deeply passionate about an anthropology topic, I think that that's going to produce the best kind of work, the most impact. And yes, because I was doing research on something that I was passionate about, I think it really powered me through this 2-year journey. I know that if people are doing things that aren't necessarily aligned with their interests, you lose some of the power that you're making. Like, if you're not passionate about it, then are you really communicating these ideas very clearly? Probably not. And also, I just think if you're passionate, it creates the best work. So yeah, overall, I feel so grateful to have had this opportunity to write an anthropology thesis as an undergraduate student. Wow, who gets the opportunity to say that? I think that my project is important, deserves more attention, and again, more videos to come on that soon. But yeah, that is all that I have to say this week. I hope you guys are all doing absolutely fantastic. I have some more great stuff coming soon, like I said, so look forward to that, and just let me know what you guys want to see. So yeah, big changes are coming. So all for now. Bye.